Good morning, all. Ira Epstein with your morning flash update, and this is for April 11th, 2023, the time 8:15 a.m. Central Time. I apologize for not being able last night to put out any of my updates. As you can see, I got a dinger on my head here, a bunch of stitches, and that's okay. I'll be fine. That was planned, by the way. I'm so fair, I get flare-ups from basal cells, and I've taken care of it all my life, and they catch it, and away they go. But if I go out in the sun, it's like I'm a magnet. I wear hats. It doesn't matter. All right. So as we look at the marketplace and see what's going on, well, you can get an idea here that we're still at the point where the market's got this debate. Do we slow down so much that we're in a serious recession? Do we slow down just enough to have a very light, soft landing? Do we not have the slowdown that people thought? Well, I think the slowdown's coming. The IMF today said they see reduced world growth again. Interest rates are staying stubbornly high. More and more analysts are seeming to focus in, by the way, on the core inflation numbers now getting to that sticky point. In fact, there's serious debate, and I wrote about it last night in my newsletter. Yes, even with this, I can write. And I was pointing out how shelter costs, while they've come down, they're going to hit a sticky point. Landlords just don't keep dropping them. And because of the tightness in the housing market, and there's serious tightness still going on there, the question is what happens. In fact, I'm already reading where in some areas we already have probably plateaued out on home prices, and that's because of the lack of supply, and there's still a very big amount of buyers that want in. On the energy market, still looking good. You tried to break back in the rebar gasoline, coming right back up. I told my traders today, by the way, something of interest. Now, do you remember on February 6th, I wrote a report on gasoline. Well, I recorded a report, a special update, waiting for the opportunity to get long. The first opportunity came in yesterday morning. And this is in my written recommendations, all verified, goes out, blah, blah, blah. And Phil's came in for the first time, and now I'm starting to tell traders, just for the sake of it, maybe you take a few dollars off because it's rallied quite a bit from there, and we'll see what the market offers us. But I do think that the spring-summer rally got underway. The question was letting the market pull back to let you in, and that was the hard thing to catch. In the grain market today, please be very careful. What we get today out of this market is going to be the all-important 11 o'clock USDA. It's called the WASDE, World Supply Demand Report, but it's more than that. It's also going to be some acreage. Where are we? Where does Brazil and Argentina end up with the size of their crops? The dollar down big. And now we're getting the rally up in the foreign currencies. We've been getting this type of wobble in the market. Now, let's take a look for a moment here. We had the National Federation of Independent Business come out today, and the reading's 90.1 versus the February reading of 90.9. Certainly down a little, but nothing major. Redbook retail sales. This is big time. Why? We haven't seen this kind of number slip back, if you will, for a very, very long time, where we're now down to barely a single digit of growth. It used to be 13%, 12, 11, 10, then we got down to the 3%. This cut that in half. So suddenly we're saying that we're not really increasing that much month over month, year over year. I think that's important. The IMF, as I said, cut its world forecast. Supply-demand estimates at 11 o'clock coming out in the grains. We get the Chicago Fed Reserve President Goolsbee. I don't know who the gentleman is. I generally get a chance somewhere along the line to meet a lot of the Fed presidents if I go to events, whatever the heck it is. He'll be speaking at the Economic Club of Chicago today at 12:30. API numbers. You saw yesterday we had the Fed president of New York, Mr. Williams, come out, and he gave his ideas. I wrote about them last night as well in my market reports. So as you take a look at these markets, they're interesting, but what else is going to be interesting? Two events. Number one, I've got my webinar coming up. It's going to be this Thursday. Number two, I'd like you to give me a thumbs up if you miss me, especially when I don't do those evening reports for you, right? You want me to be there. But let's talk, if we could, for just one moment about this Thursday, because we're going to have the live webinar. And in this webinar, I cover the ETFs, the stocks, the futures markets. You give me the questions, I get them ready. The only thing I ask is if it's stock questions and ETFs, give me the names of what you want to cover ahead of time. Why? Because there's thousands of them. I can't possibly do the chart with all the different window envelopes and the other things that I like to show you ahead of time. Futures, not a problem. You can do it right then and there. I've got them all covered. How do you get here if you're not on my mailing list? And I did send out the invites already. Move your cursor up here. You'll see an icon appear. Give it a click. Fill it out. You'll get a return email from us with your user ID and your password, and in it, you'll see if you have a question for Ira, give a click here. That opens up a link. Fill it out. Comes direct to me. I create the charts, and away we go. We start at 12:15 p.m. Central Time on Thursday. I open it. I start recording it and talking to you at 12:30. I end sharply 20 minutes later at 12:50. Make your time for it. I do not put it out as a recording on the website. I want you to attend. That's what makes this work, not the fact that you can go look at it later. Don't want to do that. If you have questions, call my staff at 866-973-2077. I'm Scarface. I will talk to you in the evening update. Trade well.